GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, Toronto. I'm Jordan Parker. A woman was arrested early this morning for impaired driving after a crash near Queen's Park, and scientists are warning that Ontario's insect numbers are plummeting, threatening our wildlife. Plus, Fresh Bite Cafe just opened in the beaches. Over to you, Nathan.
Afrofest, Toronto's celebration of African culture, kicks off this Friday at Harbourfront Centre, featuring live music, dance workshops, and culinary tastings throughout the weekend.
Headliners include Grammy-nominated singer Yemi Alade, Afrobeat band Burna Boy, and local troupe The Rhythm Collective, drawing expected crowds of over 10,000 visitors.
Admission is free for all ages, while a 15 premium pass grants access to exclusive backstage sessions, meet and greets, and a curated African art exhibition.
Lots to get to. Let's begin our day with the news, then dive deeper into the vibrant Afrofest celebration later this afternoon. Good morning, Toronto.
Just before 2:30 a.m. this Saturday, Toronto police responded to a two-vehicle collision at the intersection of College Street and University Avenue, just north of Queen's Park. Both drivers stayed at the scene, while emergency crews attended the injured party. Police later arrested a woman on suspicion of impaired driving, citing evidence that alcohol contributed to the crash. The collision involved a single occupant in one vehicle and a second driver, whose condition was not reported as critical. Officers confirmed that the impaired driving charge stemmed from a breath test administered on site. The incident underscores the ongoing risk of early morning traffic violations in the downtown core. No further injuries were reported, and traffic was redirected while investigators processed the scene. Police noted that both drivers complied with officers' instructions, and the intersection was cleared by early morning, restoring normal traffic flow.
Insects across the Greater Toronto Area Nature Reserve are disappearing at an alarming rate, scientists warned early this morning. Researchers tracking insect counts over the past decade say numbers have plummeted enough to threaten the food chain that supports birds, fish, and frogs throughout Ontario. CBC reporter Talia Ricks highlighted the findings, noting that reduced insect abundance could leave hatchlings and migratory species scrambling for scarce protein. Ecologists point to habitat loss, pesticide use, and climate shifts as likely drivers, but stress that the ripple effect may soon reach larger predators and wetlands. Officials from the Provincial Ministry of Natural Resources have been briefed and say monitoring will intensify. For now, wildlife watchers are urged to observe any changes in bird activity or amphibian presence as the ecosystem adjusts. Community scientists are also joining the effort to document local insect trends.
Just after 11 o'clock Friday night, a gunfire incident ripped through a quiet block at the intersection of Brennian Way and Sewells Road in Scarborough. Police responded to reports that several houses sustained damage from stray bullets, shattering windows and leaving debris inside multiple residences. No injuries have been confirmed, and investigators are canvassing the neighborhood for witnesses and evidence. The Toronto Police Service has cordoned off the area while forensic teams collect ballistic data. Residents were advised to stay indoors until the scene was secured. Authorities say the incident adds to a pattern of residential shootings that have prompted heightened patrols across the district. Police have not released a motive or identified any suspects at this time, and the investigation remains ongoing. Neighbors gathered at a nearby community center to receive updates, expressing concern over safety in the area.
Yesterday afternoon, two 12-year-old boys were rushed to hospital after an e-scooter lost control near Cloverdale Mall in Etobicoke. Police say the scooter careened onto the sidewalk, striking both riders and leaving one in a life-threatening condition while the other sustained serious injuries. Emergency crews arrived within minutes, secured the scene, and transported the youths to a nearby trauma center. The crash occurred on a busy stretch of Eglinton Avenue West, near the mall's main entrance, where traffic and pedestrian flow are heavy during peak shopping hours. Toronto police are investigating the crash and have not released details on the scooter's speed or any possible mechanical failure. The incident adds to growing concerns over youth safety on shared micromobility devices in the city. Parents are urged to supervise minors using e-scooters, and officials remind riders to follow traffic rules and wear protective gear.
Yesterday, the developer behind the proposed 16-story tower at Bathurst and College withdrew the plan, leaving the beloved downtown eatery Sneaky D's untouched. The Toronto and East York Community Council had been reviewing the application when the developer announced the decision not to proceed. The developer cited market conditions and community feedback as key factors in the withdrawal. City officials said the move removes the immediate threat to the iconic restaurant and dive bar that has long been a fixture for students and night owls alike. Community members who had rallied to protect the space welcomed the news, noting the site will remain as it is for the foreseeable future. The council will now shift its focus to other pending projects in the neighborhood, while Sneaky D's prepares for its regular weekend crowd without the looming construction cloud.
Coming up, the Bulldogs add Hall of Famer Burke as advisor and promote Roberts, plus more top stories you need. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's jump right into what's happening in our city. Nathan Cole has the local stories you need to hear now.
An adult woman was seriously injured this evening after a vehicle struck her on the intersection of East Mall and Burnhamthorpe Road in Etobicoke. Police reports say the collision occurred just before 8 p.m., and emergency crews arrived quickly. Paramedics assessed her injuries as serious but not life-threatening and transported her to a nearby hospital for treatment. Toronto Police Service officers remained at the scene to gather evidence and interview witnesses. The incident underscores the risks pedestrians face even in well-traveled West End neighborhoods, and investigators will be reviewing dash cam footage and any available surveillance. The crash caused a temporary traffic slowdown on the busy corridor, and several nearby shops reported hearing the impact. Drivers are reminded to stay alert in residential areas, especially during evening hours when visibility can change. The police department will release further details as the investigation progresses.
Yesterday, the Brantford Bulldogs announced two key moves in their front office. Veteran executive Brian Burke joined as senior hockey operations advisor, bringing decades of league experience to the club. At the same time, longtime assistant Gary Roberts earned a promotion to vice president of hockey operations, stepping into a broader decision-making role. Both appointments aim to strengthen the team's strategic planning as it prepares for the upcoming season, giving fans a clearer sense of direction. Burke's resume includes multiple championship runs, while Roberts is known for his work developing young talent. Local supporters can expect the new leadership to influence player development and game strategy, potentially impacting the excitement on the ice and the buzz around the arena. The Bulldogs hope these changes will translate into stronger performance and deeper community engagement.
An Ontario judge unsealed court documents yesterday that reveal York Region police officers covertly listened to conversations involving suspects. The files show the officers used electronic surveillance without authorization, and the information they gathered triggered the arrest of several Toronto police officers on charges of misconduct. The arrests mark a rare instance of officers being taken into custody for alleged involvement in corrupt activities. Officials say the revelations are part of a broader probe into possible corruption within the Toronto Police Service, a matter that has raised concerns among residents about the integrity of law enforcement. The judge's decision to make the documents public underscores the seriousness of the allegations and signals that further scrutiny of police practices may follow. Toronto's community leaders have called for transparency as the investigation continues.
New court filings released yesterday reveal a link between Ontario's Project South corruption probe and the U.S. case against former Olympian Ryan Wedding. The documents allege that Wedding, accused of running an international cocaine network directed by Gurpreet Singh, was under investigation by Toronto police as part of Project South. U.S. authorities have charged Wedding with operating the global trafficking operation, while Ontario investigators say the probe uncovered potential collusion with local law enforcement officers. The filings suggest the Toronto unit of Project South examined financial flows and communications that intersected with the drug ring's activities. Officials did not disclose whether any Toronto officers faced disciplinary action, but the revelation adds a layer of complexity to the ongoing corruption inquiry. Residents can expect heightened scrutiny of police practices as the joint investigations continue.
Yesterday evening, a Toronto lifeguard patrol vessel was struck by a jet ski on the waterfront, sending one of the lifeguards into the water. Police say an Ontario man operating the jet ski collided with the patrol boat around 8:35 p.m. The officer on scene rescued the lifeguard, and the man was taken into custody. He now faces a charge of dangerous operation of a motorized watercraft. The lifeguard patrol maintains a fleet of boats that circle the city's beaches to watch for swimmers in distress and to enforce safety rules. The collision occurred near the popular Woodbine Beach area, a spot frequented by families on summer evenings. An incident like this raises concerns for anyone enjoying the lake, reminding beachgoers that reckless riding can endanger both rescuers and the public. Authorities will review the circumstances to determine if additional safety measures are needed.
Now let's check the afternoon outlook and see what weather's in store for our city.
An upper-level jet streak slices through, dragging moist air eastward and priming Toronto for afternoon showers. On this date, the all-time high reached 34.5 Celsius in 2012, a blistering peak that rode the tail end of a regional heat wave. The record low of 12.9 Celsius fell in 2014, when an Arctic surge slipped unusually far south, delivering a sharp cold snap. By contrast, the climatological average for July 4th hovers around 22 Celsius, with typical highs near 24 and lows near 19. Those extremes remind us how the jet's position can swing temperatures dramatically. The live radar shows a swath of moderate rain marching eastward across southern Ontario, anchored over Lake Ontario and advancing toward the city at a brisk pace. With the jet stream pushing from the west, the band will brush the Toronto shoreline around 1 p.m., intensify through the early afternoon, and peak near 4 p.m. After that, the moisture will be drawn downstream, leaving the metro area clear by about 5 p.m. The map is otherwise quiet, confirming a brief jet-driven pulse. At noon, the sky is mostly cloudy with a temperature of 22 Celsius and humidity near 99%, dew point matching the temperature. Light northwest wind at 5 kilometers per hour, gusting to 24, keeps the air still. A near-average pressure field is easing lower, signaling a shift toward unsettled conditions as the upper jet at 89 kilometers per hour from the west forces lift over the region. This setup fuels the afternoon rain band that will peak near 4 p.m. UV index stands at 5. Heat warnings remain active for Toronto and surrounding municipalities, so stay aware of elevated temperatures despite the cloud cover. With the rain expected to clear by early evening, we now turn to the 5-day outlook. Saturday remains overcast, high 24, low 19, with the lingering rain band exiting by sunset. Monday clears dramatically, offering a bright sky, high 25 and low 20, a welcome break in cloud cover. Tuesday continues the dry spell, high 24 and low 19 under clear skies, allowing temperatures to climb steadily. Wednesday brings the warmest day of the stretch, high 28, low 19, clear and sunny, as the jet rides further north, reinforcing subsidence. Thursday shifts back toward the west, with a mainly clear morning, high 30, low 21, then a 50% chance of rain in the afternoon as a weak frontal wave pushes in. The weekend will close with cooler, drier air as high pressure builds. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Up next, traffic updates, today's Afrofist and Ink the 6 Tattoo Expo, plus a look at Fresh Bite Cafe opening. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
All major routes are moving freely this morning. The 401 eastbound, the 427, and the Gardiner are clear, with travel times matching posted speeds. Downtown arteries, Yonge, Bloor, and Dundas show no slowdowns and the lakeshore remains open. Even the route to Pearson, the 429, reports no backups. With no incidents to report, commuters can expect a smooth ride into the office. Looking ahead, the afternoon tends to bring the usual build-up. Expect the 401 westbound to start thickening around the Don Valley corridor after lunch, and the Gardiner may see moderate slowdowns near the downtown exit as drivers head home. The lakeshore often picks up near the waterfront as weekend traffic returns. Keep an eye on those bottlenecks if you're planning a post-lunch run. Transit services are operating on schedule, with no reported delays on subways or streetcars.
Toronto's FIFA Fan Festival is alive at Fort York in the Bentway, a massive World Cup zone with live screens, games, and a buzz you can't miss. Catch the Canada versus Morocco match on the big screen. Afrofest rolls across the city today, North America's largest free African music celebration, offering 3 days of food, live performances, and community spirit, perfect for a summer soundtrack. Street food and drumming fill every corner. Ink the 66 Tattoo Expo opens its doors for the first time, bringing live tattooing, seminars, and art shows to Toronto's creative scene, a rare chance to watch artists at work. Looking ahead, Open Canvas Music and Arts Festival launches tomorrow in Trillium Park, a 2-day splash of 20-plus acts, live murals, and interactive installations, your next weekend adventure. The park will also host pop-up food trucks so you can refuel between sets. All of these events are happening now, so grab a friend, step outside, and make today unforgettable. And now here's Marcus with sports.
Baseball buzz rolls in as Toronto's Blue Jays dominate Seattle in a pitching showcase. Sportsnet's breakdown points to left fielder Randy Arizona's premature challenge calls during his opening at-bat, labeling them selfish. Those lost challenges limited Seattle's ability to contest later plays, a factor that helped the Toronto Blue Jays secure the win over the Mariners. Dylan Cease delivered a masterful performance, throwing 7 scoreless innings and fanning 9 batters as the Toronto Blue Jays blanked the Seattle Mariners. The 2-0 victory highlighted Toronto's dominant pitching and kept the Mariners shut out throughout the contest. Kazuma Okamoto earned June Rookie of the Month honors, recognized by Sportsnet on Friday. Earlier, Dylan Cease's overpowering outing helped the Toronto Blue Jays silence the Mariners, delivering a shutout win that underscored the young infielder's rising impact on a strong Toronto roster.
Fresh Bite Cafe in the Beaches has just swung its doors open, bringing an organic, plant-based coffee experience to the lakeside community. Founded by local chefs who grew up on the boardwalk, the shop serves fair trade espresso, oat milk lattes, and a rotating menu of veggie-forward pastries sourced from nearby farms. The grand opening on July 3rd featured live acoustic sets and a neighborhood art showcase, turning the cafe into a pop-up gallery as quickly as a morning rush. It's more than a place to grab a brew. It's a sustainable gathering spot where families, cyclists, and remote workers can meet, share ideas, and feel the pulse of a greener Toronto. Fresh Bite reminds us that small, thoughtful businesses keep our city thriving. And finally, a bright note as Fresh Bite Cafe swings its doors open in the Beaches, serving fresh smiles to our neighborhood.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on gmna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
Toronto's newest NBA draft picks, Allen Graves and Jaden Bradley, have touched down for contract signings and a first look at the Raptors' practice facility inside the Scotiabank Arena complex. We'll get their reactions from the floor of the gym. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks, Jordan Parker. I'm standing on the polished concrete floor of the Raptors' practice facility, the hum of air conditioners blending with sneaker echoes. 2 sleek black SUVs pull up and outstep rookie draftees Allen Graves and Jaden Bradley, fresh from the plane that just touched down in Toronto. The young guards shake hands with front office staff. Glossy contract pads glint under arena lights as they sign their first NBA agreements. A camera crew follows them down the hallway past towering banners that chronicle past championships, into the locker room where fresh pine and leather fill the air. Reporters crowd the entrance, microphones poised, as the duo enter the weight room and state-of-the-art shooting lab. It's a moment that signals the next chapter for a team hungry for new talent and a city eager to welcome its newest basketball sons. One glance at those eager faces tells you the future feels close enough to touch. Carl Dumont virtually at Raptors practice facility.
On a sun-baked Saturday morning along the bustling stretch of Queen Street West, the city's heat warning hangs heavy, but the neighborhood isn't folding under the forecasted highs of 31 to 33 degrees. At the corner of King and Spadina, the owner of a small bakery has set out a chilled cucumber water station, handing frosty cups to commuters clutching briefcases and to retirees strolling from the nearby senior center. A group of local high school volunteers has unfurled a series of pop-up shade canopies beside the public library's splash pad, where children squeal as jets of cool water arc through the air, their laughter cutting through the humid stillness. Across the street, a rooftop garden on a condo building opens its shaded terrace, offering a breezy refuge and a handful of fresh fruit for anyone who stops by. In the midst of the swelter, strangers exchange smiles over shared lemonade, and a quiet sense of togetherness spreads faster than the heat itself. When we look out for each other, the heat feels a little lighter.
On a bright Saturday afternoon on King Street West, the scent of sizzling spices drifted from the doors of a modest bistro that, for the day, wore a bright red banner announcing Summerlicious. Around the block, more than 230 Toronto restaurants opened their kitchens to the festival, each offering a 3-course lunch or dinner at a price that felt like a treat rather than a splurge. Inside, a young couple from Scarborough shared a starter of kimchi-infused avocado toast, followed by a hearty butter chicken pot pie, and finished with a maple syrup panna cotta that sparked a spontaneous laugh. The chef, a recent immigrant from Ghana, explained that the festival gives him a chance to showcase flavors that might otherwise stay hidden behind a regular menu. What makes the day special is not just the variety, but the way the community gathers around unfamiliar plates, discovering common ground in each bite. For many Torontonians, Summerlicious turns a simple lunch break into a passport to the world, all without leaving the neighborhood. And that shared sense of curiosity and connection is what keeps the city's heart beating.
Thank you, Toronto, for joining us on the lunch break. Tonight's highlight was the community's win as the developer pulled the 16-story project, keeping Sneaky D's open for everyone. We appreciate your trust and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. I'm Jordan Parker. See you then.